How is NIO Stock going to get to $100 a share? And in this video, I'll be laying out my outlook about how we could get there. All right. Not financial advice as always. And it's very important that you watch my previous video so you know about the acceleration of the sub-brand and all the juicy information along with that. So first of all, you got to see what's happening here in China. What you're seeing is the rapid die-off of a lot of traditional auto. All right, for example, Nissan, Mitsubishi, Hyundai, these cars are dying off in big dose, all right, being replaced by BYD. BYD cars are selling like crazy. And this really shows how time can change a lot of things and do a complete 360 for certain brands. Now, why am I very bullish on the long-term future of NIO? There's three aspects to it, all right? First of all is the concept of brand stickiness, or in other words, brand loyalty. A good example about this is if you have an Android phone, for example, a Samsung phone, you might switch to a Google phone or OnePlus phone or a Xiaomi phone. You're all on Android, but you're switching companies quite often maybe. Whereas with iPhone users are very unlikely to switch to another company, to another brand because of the ecosystem. For example, I'm pretty much forced to use an iPhone because of AirDrop feature. That's one feature that I'm just dead on love about iPhone. And no matter how good the other phones are, I'm pretty much stuck on an iPhone. All right? The same can be said with NIO and the other EVs. With the other EVs, they might be this year buy a Tesla, next year buy a BYD, might buy a Li Auto or an Xpeng, and then after a while, they switch to another car brand, because what you're really seeing with those other brands is that some of them don't have that much ecosystem. It's more like traditional dealership, like the traditional auto that's dying off. You sell them the car and then hope they never come back. And if they come back for service or maintenance, charge them money, and they basically got nothing to do with you. But with NIO, there's not only brand stickiness, there's the big feature of battery swap. Just like how AirDrop is extremely convenient, battery swap is a convenience that people get used to and can't ever not get used to. All right, it's like that one feature where you live your life, like NIO owners live their life, and they don't have to worry about dedicated time to charging, wasting an hour every couple days or every week to charging. You just swap. To all of a sudden have to go from that convenience back to just only charging and having to spend so much time that you perhaps did not think about dedicating to is a massive inconvenience. A lot of NIO owners right now saying that they're not used to driving other cars because you have to charge them. So that's why you see NIO has one of the highest rebuy rates. So existing NIO owners are very likely to buy another NIO or sell their current NIO and buy a new NIO. So what this means is that as time goes on, the total number of NIO owners would increase and not so much to say decrease. Whereas with other brands, they might be increasing right now, but because they don't have this type of a moat, this type of brand stickiness, you could see what's happening with traditional auto right now. Their product gets outdated, loses their attractiveness, and they might just hop on board the battery swap train with NIO. And once they're on this train, it's very hard for them to go back. What this means is that over time, there's going to be a mass accumulation of NIO owners that will just stick with the brand and not switch to another brand. So in that sense, NIO is very similar to Apple, all right? And the reason number two is the mandatory battery inspection that's going to be implemented very soon, and it's already confirmed. It's an inspection of battery health. Now, a lot of mainstream EVs, they suffer from great battery degradation and battery quality issues, and even other EVs that are quite popular as well. But what this mandates is that battery health is going to be put at the #1 spotlight for new energy vehicles. And as time progresses, the health of the battery is very, very important. There will 100% be a time where a lot of these EVs do not pass inspection, causing disputes between those EV owners and the main brand and the brand that they bought the car from, and hence causing them to divorce themselves from that brand and switch to a company that does not suffer from the battery health problem and is able to have a good record of passing those battery inspections. The third reason I'm very bullish long term is because the accelerated rollout of the sub-brand. The sub-brand will pretty much be like the Model 3 and Model Y to Tesla. Big demand, big capacity, but if NIO is able to fulfill that demand, it will do absolute wonders to the stock. The fourth reason is the mass aggregation of patents that NIO has. These patents can in turn be used for licensing, and better yet, if competitors violate those patents, get a big fat juicy check. Number 5 reason is the mass deployment of swap stations, especially abroad in Europe. Apparently, NIO is going to go ham in Europe and build a ton of swap stations, over 4-digit swap stations by 2025, opening up the swap network across Europe, hence getting a lot of sales there. And number 6, I believe it's going to be a massive change in investor sentiment as people realize that all these factors combined, that NIO was actually very similar to Apple in a sense. And as investors get much more optimistic about the future outlook of NIO following the success of the sub-brand, we're going to see much more favorable price to sales ratio, hence a higher stock price. It seems like things are turning around big time here in China with NIO. Cash burn reduced, or canceling all projects that do not add a positive benefit, that does not have a positive benefit to the balance sheet, removing unnecessary staff, accelerating the sub-brand. NIO is already quite successful in the expensive luxury EV segment. By them entering the mainstream segment, you will see explosive growth. NIO's Model 3 moment is going to come very soon. And also, I believe that for the latest earnings report that we'll see coming out very soon, Q3 earnings, we might actually see really high, record high revenues because of deliveries. So this could offer a very big boost in sentiment. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.